All right, what's happening, Ward Wrestling Live? We're here, like I've said earlier. What a cool day. I called it like Female Friday because I don't know how it worked out this way, but 4 females on today, which is awesome. My Women on the Mat logo with the great Julia Salata back there. She's okay. And well, I've got another amazing wrestling mind, wrestling mom, wrestling referee, Cynthia Mosconi on with us today. She's been reffing. She's a WW2 ref, 12 years. 7 kids, 6 wrestle. So that's where she becomes wrestling mom. And martial arts was her thing. It wasn't wrestling, but the boys and the girls in the family have wrestled. And she was chosen to be the 2021 head official for NCAA women's now. So, and there's much, much more that I can keep saying, but we've got her on, and it was an honor to get a hold of her. And it was a pleasure to have you come on. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, it's been cool. I know it's more difficult. I tell the ladies it's more difficult to get the ladies on than it is to get the men on. I'm starting to understand more why, because everyone's told me. So I'm like, I get it. I got it. So to get you guys say yes. And well, first of all, you have everybody in the family's wrestling. So with this pandemic this summer, I mean, it had to affect your reffing schedule and also their wrestling schedule, right? Have they been kind of stuck at home all day? What has been the new normal for you?
Well, good thing is I have built-in wrestling partners. So there isn't been any shortage of wrestling partners per se for the kids. Now they've gone ahead and they've each individually continued their own workouts and things like that according to what their goals are. But for the referee, yeah, we had to cancel a lot of tournaments. A lot of tournaments were canceled, which sucks.
Yeah.
The kids have been asking me dying. I had to tell my kid no. I had to tell Gino no a couple times about going to some tournaments. I'm like, is it USA Wrestling sanctioned? No. Well, then you're not going. So
my wife too. She's been very strict about it.
Yeah, if it was USA Wrestling sanctioned, because I know that they're going to take the proper precautions, then absolutely they could have gone. But there were several that people were hosting, and then when I saw videos, there's just there was just plenty of parents and everybody around. I'm like, no.
I heard that Reno went well.
I hadn't heard. That's what I heard too, but I watched a couple of things, but I wasn't sure exactly how that went about. But yeah, my kids.
I heard, is that USA sanctioned, Reno?
Reno, I don't think it is. I don't think they might have picked it up since it's, but I'm not sure.
I just heard that the whoever was hosting it early on got on the mic and said, "Hey, listen, this is what we expect. If you don't want to follow the rules, we can shut the tournament down."
Right.
And
good.
Everybody got right on the horse, and I had a young man on. He said from there on out, everybody did what they were told.
Yeah, I think the wrestling community as a whole is willing to do whatever we can as a whole to make sure that we can get up and running again and do it safely, because this sucks. It really does suck for everybody, especially our kids.
Yeah. And I only have 2 of them. I can't imagine if I had as many as you did stuck in the house. Or were they all home this summer because of this?
Well, I had one come home from college. Alex had to come home from college. So we had to finish up his college online. And then I had another one kind of move home. I've got 2 that, have started their own family, so they're out. But then I had, when I started thinking I was getting rid of some, COVID happens, and then I get a house full again.
That's all right. That's cool. What about did I see that one is wrestling at Duke or something?
No, Alex is wrestling at Ohio University. Yeah.
Ohio, okay. I thought I saw something with a blue outfit on. I didn't know if it was. Any of them went to Duke?
No, nobody went to Duke.
Well, maybe that was that Pennsylvania Mosconi that I saw.
It might have been.
Well, that's cool. Well, at least you got a lot of family time this summer, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, no, we did. It's really good. Our family is a very strong family. We're very close. Regardless of the virus or not, we were together once or
can you hear me? I lost your sound.
Hear me?
I hear you. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Sorry. It happens a lot.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, my internet went out.
Yeah. I've had the whole thing. I was on a show with a guy, and all of a sudden my power went out. It was storming. The TV went off, or the computer. I was like, well, I guess that's the end of that interview.
Yeah, it's been storming all day here, so it's like, okay, great.
Well, I read that your family, it's God Family Wrestling. That's pretty cool. And is your husband still coaching? I read some articles a few years back where he was the assistant coach at school. Or once the boys have kind of moved on, did he step back into dad role?
We switched schools. We had kind of my husband's mother had gotten really, really sick and she was dying. So we had to move school districts. So we want to be close to her. He's a nurse, so he could take care of her. So the kids went to a different school and he got a chance to step back and not coach for the first time in, I don't know how many years, about 15 years. So that transition for him from being coach to dad sucked. So it was like, okay, honey, remember your dad, your dad coach Edwards, your dad. But then we went to the new school. We let Gino go through 2 years without him being a coach. And then the coach wanted him to come back. So he'll be coming back this year to coach high school for Gino's senior year and Amazing coming, sophomore year.
Well, that's cool. It's got to be cool to be there for his senior year. That'll be fun, right?
Yeah, that was the big thing. He's been trying to get him coached for a while. And so now he gets to come back and coach him for senior year. Yeah.
So I know the articles that I read were years back, right? I think they were 17, 16, 15 or something like that. But,
right.
At that time, I saw that a couple of your crew had been like state placers, state runner-ups.
Yes.
Did they eventually get to the top of the podium?
No. We had Elijah, my oldest, had gone to state 3 years and placed 2 out of 3. Anthony went, 2 years and placed once. And then Alex went all 4 years and placed all 4 years, but came up, second his junior.
Yeah. Was he the one that was like second?
Yeah. It's like he beat these kids earlier in the season, and then he just let the pressure get to him so much, and it's just like nothing I could do. It just broke. There's nothing I could do,
Well, yeah, I think at the time you were heartbroken, right? But now
I was heartbroken for me, but not for me, but for him, because you see your kid go out there and just not do anything, and you've seen him just what type of caliber wrestler he is, and it's a head game for himself, something he's got to overcome. So it's heartbreaking for him because I know what I don't know what he's gonna go through, but I can feel what he's gonna go through, and it's heart-wrenching.
Is he at a point yet where he looks back and he's proud of the second place, or do you think that'll ever happen?
No, he still is highly irate with himself.
Because I know at some point in life you look back and go, wow, that was pretty good. I did second place in state.
Yeah, no, not with him. Really, with none of my children. They just.
I talked to who did I talk to? Was it Dennis Mitchell? Dennis. Mm-hmm. I asked him about his silver medal in the Olympics, and that was like 40 years ago.
Yeah.
His face went mean. He was like, I still don't like that thing. I was going to throw it away right there. I'm like, but as a silver medal in the Olympics, you're like second place in the world. Like, that's pretty damn good. He's like, yeah, it's all right, but I hate it.
Right. Yeah, that's my kids. They would throw, they come at it, sectionals or semi-state and be not happy because it wasn't first, and throw their stuff into the trash. I'd have to go dig in the trash to pull it out to put it, it's like, God.
Yeah, like for me, when my kid got his first win at the beginning of last season, I was like, that's good for me. That's like winning states. I saw how much work you put in through all these losses, and you got that win. I'm happy. And then he advanced to regions and then he went 0-2 at regionals, but just to make that advancement his first year after his first off season, losing completely his first 2 years.
Right.
I was like, shit, you got third at districts, fourth, I think it was third at district. I'm like, I'm in. I'm like, to me, you won the whole thing. I'm happy. He's like, you suck. He's like, you suck, man.
It's like, geez, thanks.
Like, why are you crying? You made it to region. He's like, this sucks. I don't like losing. I'm like, okay, well, does it hurt? Good. You want me
yeah.
to like, you want me to be mean about it? Good, cry, kid. Like,
Right.
what do you want me to say? As a dad, I've always been like, hey, I love it more when you win than you lose, but I want you just to have fun.
Right.
It's pretty cool, but he's cool. So being a female referee in this sport, I know internationally, there's no issues. I think on the international level,
It's easy. It's easy.
There's girls everywhere, every mat. Women are welcome.
Yeah, they're treated equal. Yes.
You'd think it would be the other way around. Like we're supposed to have this free country, and
Yeah, you would. You think it would. Yeah.
Yes. But you know, as much as like talking to Leslie or Joey, you know, they tell you there has been a lack of respect to the female referee, but they've also said over the years it has improved a lot. Like they're not sticking you in the back corner mat to only wrestle girls anymore. But I think what everybody is fighting for is, can we get more girls to know that they can do this, right? You can get into the sport, stay in the sport by coming and doing this. And how do we do that, right? Is that something that's really on the forefront of your mind, right?
It is. There was such a separation. Now, see, when I first started refereeing, I only refereed a handful of girls tournaments. Very handful. In coming up through, they did start taking just us women. You know, the more women that came in, the more that they stuck us with women, which still shows the separation. Instead of just being officials, I mean, there's a designation of female officials and male officials. It's harder to be able to represent the women as a female official with so few female officials. We've got to get our wrestlers to step up, our female wrestlers to step up and start becoming a face that these girls can trust and can look up to do both of these things. I think it is an essential part that we have more females to represent the females, because right now that's the end thing. Our females are being groomed to be the best athletes in the world. And by all means, I've watched the progression of it. I've been a part of the progression of it. And I am so extremely proud of what these ladies have done. I mean, they've made me a true believer. When I started refereeing 10, 11, 12 years ago, I mean, and honestly, they told me, Cindy, don't you ever say this. I was like, it's powder puff wrestling. And these young ladies have taken it to, they made me a true believer. Because it's like, if you're going to wrestle.
They say the next wave coming up, this wave coming up, like your daughter's age is.
Oh yeah, they're beasts. They're nasty. And it's because I think a lot of that has to do is the men have realized that it takes a certain type of girl to wrestle. I mean, it does. You can't take your average cheerleader off the high school team and throw in a wrestling room and say, okay, let's have it. No, I mean, these girls that are coming up, they're warriors. I mean, they are warriors. I mean, think about it. How many girls do you know want to walk around during, you know, these pubescent ages with a black eye or a broken nose or a fat lip and worry about the prom dates? And, you know, no, I mean, you still have these feminine girls coming up ready to fight to be the best. And that's, and they're starting to be supported by these great male coaches that are seeing that, yes, there are these set of women that can do this. And refereeing both these women, some of these women, they're more vicious than some of our men. I mean, they are vicious. I mean, come on. You're married. Women are vicious.
Yeah, no, I am married and she is vicious. I agree.
Women are vicious.
I argue with her, but I'm sure it doesn't hurt that your daughters had 5 older brothers.
Oh, they are so mean. They are so and they're sweet, but oh yes, they are extremely. I feel sorry for anybody that messes with them. And then I've got Anna Mae. You know, she's our sophomore, and she's so itty bitty. She's like 5'3", 5'2", 5'3". She's itty bitty, but she will tear up these boys. I mean, she will tear them up.
Your dude in the back.
That's Gino. That's the little one that you were talking
One
about.
that I saw. Yeah, he's not too little anymore.
He's definitely not so little now. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. I have an aunt, and there was 5 kids. And She was the baby of the bunch. So the 4 older brothers are like, she's the toughest out of all of us.
Yeah, they torture the boys. Oh God. They torture the girls. It's horrible. I mean, it's horrible, but it's not. I mean, no one will mess with the girls. Period. Dot. There's no boyfriends. There's no male friends. There's nothing. And if I love
up
it.
at that house with the 5 brothers.
And then they invite their wrestling buddies over. Because it's a huge wrestling fan. We got it from all of them, and they're always over here. Yeah, there's no. I don't have to.
The boyfriends are in the corner like this.
Yeah, they don't get boyfriends. If you can make it through the 4 brothers, then you got to make it through daddy, and then you got to make it through mommy. Yeah. So.
Well, Coach Steve Hall threw a heart up there for you.
Oh, thank you.
His daughter's pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
Bug. What did I have here? All right, we talked about growing female referees. Opportunities for female wrestlers.
For female referees or wrestling?
Opportunities for females in wrestling. I think that's what you said, right? You wrote down?
Yeah, we've got to encourage don't you even think about it. Sorry, I had to be on there for a second. We've got to get our girls in. We've got to, it's going to start on the family level. So that's going to have to be dad. And it's not mom usually when it comes to the girls, it's dad, because you put these girls in singlets and then you're going, especially, when they hit 12, 13, 14 and dads are like, no. And then they got to wrestle these boys. Now in Indiana, we don't have a huge opportunity to wrestle with a lot of girls. Now our girls program is getting better and is increasing.
I lost you again. There you are. Nope, you're gone. Can't hear you. There you are. You're back.
I'm back. So we've got Coach Lois in Indiana that does wonders with our girls. But we've got to get more girls interested. But it starts at the family level. And we have to understand, our dads have to understand that if you want your girls to be good, okay, it's okay to wrestle the boys at 12, 13, 14. Because the girls are stronger. I mean, before the boys start hitting puberty, the younger ages, the girls are stronger, so they're going to do well. Girls and boys wrestle differently, though. They really do. So girls are clingers. I mean, they're going to snatch a hold of you, and they're going to not let you go. I don't care if you're a boy or girl, and it's hard for some of the boys to get out of these girls' grips. But we've got to support them and encourage them to continue. We also have to find coaches for them that are going to be willing to put as much effort into them as they do the up-and-coming boy that they think is going to stand on the podium. These girls can stand on the podium too. They just need the proper guidance. So, when we've got, Coach Steiners and we've got Gable and we've got some of these exceptional coaches that are standing up for women, I think that says a lot to everybody that yes, women can do it. We just need the support and we need to be treated equal. There's always going to be inequality, but you take certain boys and wrestle them with girls. They don't want to wrestle them because it's different.
I think they have, they can't win because if they win, their friends say, well, you beat a girl. If they lose,
then haha, you got beat by a girl.
Right. So,
which my boys had always wrestled a couple girls, and it's like, Okay, I just got beat by a girl. Well, yeah. So what do you think you need to do differently? You know, you need to work harder.
All
And
right.
we parent a little bit different. So I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it. Steve Hall said, where does an athlete find the pathway to begin officiating?
What I would suggest, because what I do is I've taken a few high schoolers and taken them under my wing. One, you've got to, I suggest telling them to reach out to an official that they respect and they admire. Now you got to make sure, because there's different levels of officiating, just as there is in wrestling. You know, it's all about how much you do, how much you want to learn, and the growth is similar to an athlete. But what I've told everybody is find an official that you feel comfortable with and go to them, and they should be able to help you train you, because you can't just go on the mat, here's a whistle and go. I mean, but you need somebody that's going to be honest with you and work with you and train you and let you know, okay, you can stay state level, because you go national level, it's a totally different ball game. And I think we lose most of our new and incoming officials at the national level because they're not ready. Yeah.
Do you
So
teach them, when you're in training, do you put them in a room and pretend like you're a coach and start lambasting them and calling them names and seeing if they...
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. I mean, just like with it's like, yeah, as much as sometimes I want to scream, yell, choke, the life out of somebody for not listening because they don't get it. I was in that same place when I started. I'm sure there was plenty of people that just wanted to choke the life out of me, especially with my mouth, choke the life out of me. But I mean, I wanted it. I wanted to learn. I wanted to listen. So there's a way to teach. There's so much information like Zach Eric goes through. He provides so many videos and opportunities for young officials to come up and learn and watch and see the things, why we call the things, how they should call the things. How they should call things. It's just not about wrestling. It's about, the philosophy behind wrestling is what you got to really realize as an official.
Well, awesome. Well said. I can hear you, but you're frozen. But that's okay.
Yeah, you are too. Touching your face.
All right. All right. Well, you have a few different jobs in the house. Mom, ref,
yes.
work, tournaments. Kids. I mean, how are you able to beat all these amazing people at once?
I have split personalities. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
My husband wants to say yes. My husband wants to say yes.
Medication, tequila, and other stuff.
Wine, tequila.
Yeah.
It's very, very busy, hectic. My kids were always multi-sport athletes. I mean, always. So from the very time they were really little, we coached soccer, we coached football, we coached wrestling, they did volleyball, we coached basketball. I mean, we let them do kind of everything, but they still had to wrestle because, I mean, wrestling's going to teach them things about life that you just have to learn on your own, that you can't give up, that, if you can make it through this practice, you can make it through anything. If you can, if you can push yourself through here and get over that mental block, you can do anything in life. So wrestling for me is a very important, plays a really important role and part in their growth as young adults and coming out. I guess they're still young adults. My college kids, they're still young adults.
They're still young.
Hoping it sticks.
That's awesome. Yeah, because I mean, listen, feeding 9 people at once, having to have dinner ready, getting them all at practice. I mean, I don't think people realize how much you do as a mom. So
no, I don't think they do.
That's awesome. But AJ Greaves says, what is your favorite match you've ever officiated?
Oh, Coach Greaves, really? Really gonna put me on the spot. My favorite match ever. This was one that was probably one of my favorite matches, but it was also the most heart-wrenching. I would say at Final X, it was Velty versus Miracle. And Miracle ended up losing. Yeah, it was, I think for me, because there's so many. I love every match that I referee. Each one brings a new perspective. Each one brings a new thing that I might have missed or a way that I can improve myself. And then each one I get to see new moves that these kids are trying, or coaches are trying to teach them illegal stuff that's not flying with me.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to say Velty and Miracle, because it was such a, that's the word I'm looking for, intense emotional match. Because, you know, I knew what it meant to Kayla. I knew what it meant to Velty. So that matchup was probably one of my most favorite. Yes. Yeah. One of my most, you know.
What is your favorite style to referee?
Oh, absolutely. Greco, hands down.
That's what I've had a couple of refs on, and when I ask them, why do you say Greco?
Well,
yeah. They say, because I love to be low and watching the throw happen, and just being there as the throw is being put into place, and you're like, whoa. Like I said, just to be on the mat and that close to seeing it take place is pretty awesome.
It is, and you should change your level on it even during freestyle. I mean, you change your level all the time, but with Greco, the old Greco, which I'm hoping we get back to, which is just everybody's picking each other up and launching. Now it's over the past, I want to say 4 or 5 years ago, it went to more of your college style stall. Who's going to get the 1 point? Oh, let's wait until get put on the clock. Let's wait for the penalty point. That's not wrestling. I mean, come on. That's playing a chess game and making it boring. No wonder why they wanted to throw it out of the Olympics. So now that we're getting back to, you know, okay, you're going to get penalized and it's going to be a hard penalty, and now you can't block and you can't do this. It's more exciting where we're back to taking those risks and launching someone on their head. I mean, that's just pretty much what it is. Let me see this cool ass wow move where I have to change my level, hold up my 5 and wait. Yes. I mean, they're beautiful. I mean, it's awesome to be a part of that. I mean, it really is.
That's cool. Coach Grieve says, I honestly thought Miracle was going to win that after her win over Velty at the Open. That was a great match.
It was yes, it was a great match. It like I said, it elicited a lot of emotion for me, but yeah, I mean, they're both excellent. They're both 2 of my favorite wrestlers. I mean, hands down, they're 2 of my favorite wrestlers. So being able to be a part of that was phenomenal.
Is it different? How different? And I don't know if I've asked other refs. I think this question has been asked to some refs, but how difficult is it when you're emotionally attached to one of the wrestlers? Like I don't mean like, you know what I mean? Like, wow, I've watched her wrestle since she was a baby, or that one is Cousin Johnny. Like, how do you separate yourself to be able to? I mean, I guess the old thing is you got to be a professional, right? But yeah, how difficult is it when you really have a interest in that wrestler?
I don't. If I have an interest, I won't referee that person. To me, it doesn't matter. My son could get on the mat. Would I referee him? Absolutely not. I mean, I did when they were kids. The coaches and, you know, parents are just like, let's do this match. But I won't, because then you tend to be reverse bias, because you don't tend to, and I don't think what people understand is, you're not going to help this person cheat. You're going to reverse bias because you're trying to prove that you're not cheating or not being biased. So you actually end up hurting the person that you like. I try to disassociate myself with a lot of the wrestlers. I mean, I know them by faces, and of course I know all our big ones. But I try not to know their names. I don't care who walks on the mat. When they step on the mat, whether I know them or not, I mean, they're fighters. They're battling, and it doesn't matter. If I know you and you lose, then you know I treated you fairly. You lost because you screwed up, you know? And I guess that's a benefit for if I know somebody or know of somebody that gets on the mat, because they know if they lose, then it's not my fault they lost. Because they know I will referee everything I can as fair as possible. I mean, so.
Yeah, I mean, you're human, right? So it's got to be.
Oh, you're human. We all make mistakes. None of us are perfect. No.
what did it mean to the women's refereeing community to see at the NBA level and at the NFL level that there are women that have been allowed at that level now on the biggest stage as far as refereeing it? Has that trickled down? Has that made a difference?
I would like to think it has. I mean, I really would. I would like to think that these girls, now I've had several younger girls or college girls when I've traveled outside or traveled outside of Indiana or done some college events that asked me how to become a referee. And I'm hoping it does. I'm hoping that they see that, it's not being a woman official. It has to be right now. It has to be the woman official. It shouldn't be. It should just be, that official. We should all be considered equal. But unfortunately, it's not. So I'm hoping that me being able to do these higher level events, that these girls and getting to go on international trips with them and getting to being able to, just be a part of what they're doing, encourages them and encourages other people that, this is possible. This can happen for a woman. We're still a few steps behind, but we're catching up.
And even though it's not wrestling, but it is a stage that is seen worldwide. So little girls they see that. So they're like, wow, girls can ref football too. Girls can ref basketball
right.
too. So why can't they do wrestling also, right?
But it starts with the family because it's the dads. When it comes to girls, it is the dads. It's the fathers. Just like when the boys want to join football and moms are very protective. It's like, no, my baby's going to get hurt. That same as
absolutely happens. And what's crazy is, but mom will let them wrestle. Wow. So my son is like,
you'll let him wrestle.
Like,
yeah.
You let me wrestle, but you won't let me play football. No, you can break your neck football. Mom, I get thrown on my neck.
No, yeah. I was just saying, Anthony, our second son, when he was wrestling, he actually got piked on his head when he was, I think, 10 or 11, broke his neck. It was a small fracture, and it was scary. It was scary. And I thought, and I've told my girls, well, you want to play football, you make it through. Oh, it says,
you're back.
I was gonna say, I checked. My connection was good.
Once a day, I get this. It's all right. I guess since we're at that point, what is your favorite tournament, or has been your favorite tournament to ref at?
The ultimate tournament that I would say is my favorite is going to be Fargo. It is the most grueling tournament that I have ever been. I've never missed a year at Fargo except this past year since I started refereeing. It is the most grueling tournament there is for us referees. Now I've had my kids have wrestled in Fargo, but they at least get a break. They wrestle, they get a break. The referees, you're constantly going nonstop, but you have so many different people there at so many different levels that you have so much to learn, that you can learn if you're receptive to it. And then all your friends from everywhere are here, and you get to spend 10 wonderful days with them. And it's I think you can learn so much just by going to Fargo. You got your best of the best in the country. I mean, you got all of the greatest wrestlers in the country, all there.
I got to imagine you've probably got every college coach in the country, every college. There's got to be people that are coming there. I know one's during the season, one's before the season or whatever, but do you think Fargo is still more prestigious than 32?
Oh, absolutely. It depends on the level. Okay. Cause you can take some 32, you can take some folk style wrestlers and that's where you're going to get your super 32 is 80 of them are just going to stick with total folk style. Your Fargo, you got your freestyle, folk style, and Greco wrestlers there. The kids that are doing all styles, and doing all styles is only going to make them a better wrestler all around. So Super 32, I think, is good for the kids that don't wrestle folk style, but you've got your great coaches at our big colleges, Penn and Ohio and Nebraska. They're freestyle coaches. I mean, they all wrestled free, so they want wrestlers that can perform on any level. They want wrestlers that they can say, "Hey, this is a world team member." Hey, So for me, you win Fargo, and you're the ultimate. I mean,
yeah, there was some. We've had some guys down here do it. Florida, I think our best of the best can compete in the country. Our depth, we're still working on.
Yeah.
Well, before we get into my 10 questions,
how
has being a ref made you better as a coach to your kids?
Because I got to see what the crazy coaches were like. Being standing on the mat and screaming and yelling, and then I get to look back and because I like to watch people, so I'm a people watcher, and then I got to sit back and see what worked and what didn't. And as a coach, some kids like they scream and they yell and they smacking upside the head before they get on the mat. Some kids, and you can tell, I mean, if you watch which ones aren't receptive to that and then just totally decline after that. So I think it's helped me be able to take a step back and say, okay, let me figure out what they need. So now I look at my athletes' need instead of my need as a coach, is what do they need instead of what do I need? What do I need from them? What do they need from me at this point? So I think refereeing has helped me become a better listener, a better communicator. And I guess being able to see things differently, because coaches and referees see things a lot differently. It's good when you can see the same thing. So I think it's helped on that.
Yeah, I think I've had Mike Cipriano on a bunch,
Mm-hmm.
and to tell you the truth, I'm never really watching the match. He says I'm watching legs, I'm watching arms, I'm watching positions, I'm watching the line. So as much as I want to be like, oh my God, that's like you said, Kayla Miracle and Betty or whatever, I can't watch the match. I have to watch, are their feet in the right spot? Is their arms in the right spot? Is there a hook going in? So he said it's really, really different because I'm looking at it a different way. So even when I'm off the mat as a fan,
Mm-hmm.
I'll never be a fan. Yeah. He's like, I'm never going to be a fan the same way I ever was before that, because when I'm watching a match now, I'm going, oh my God, that's the arms wrong.
Stupid referee. What is he thinking about? That was it's bad. Yeah, it's
3 seconds. What the hell? Why is he not calling that? Like,
right. Yeah, right.
Hey, Dad, you're just watching, okay? Come on, we're not reffing. Shut up.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right. All right. This has been awesome. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I think. Yeah.
All right. So, Big Red Soda or Triple X root beer?
Triple X root beer.
The Indiana Zoo or Fort Harrison State Park?
Fort Harrison State Park.
All right. Fisher Meats or Heritage Ridge Cheese?
Heritage Ridge Cheese.
The Motor Speedway or the Field House?
Ooh, Field House. Field House.
I should wear my glasses when I do this. Persimmon pudding or sugar cream pie?
Pudding.
I don't like any of them, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, pudding.
All right. Fountain Square or Central Canal?
Central Canal. You don't want to go to Fountain Square. Not if you can, but you don't want to go.
I know that now when I come and visit. All right.
Yeah.
The pork tenderloin sandwich or the country fried steak?
Oh my God, country fried steak.
The Children's Museum or the State Museum?
Am I with kids or without kids?
Yeah. It seems like you've never been without kids.
Yeah, rarely. At the State Museum for me, yeah.
Benedict or biscuits and gravy?
Ooh. I guess if I've been drinking the night before, biscuits and gravy. If I haven't, then it's going to be
Yeah.
biscuits.
You're supposed to have a Big Mac the next morning.
And a Coke and a McDonald's Coke.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So this is really cool. And I hope you've been to this because I would go. The orangutan discovery.
What?
That's
in Indiana?
That's what it said. It said orangutan discovery. I was like, yo, I want to go see orangutans.
It might be okay, so they did something new at the zoo with the orangutans. There was like 3 of them, 3 or 4
All
of
I
them.
can think of is that comedian,
Thank
the little black dude. What's his name?
Kevin Hart.
Yeah, he's got a comedy session where he goes, orangutan. Really? So all I kept seeing was orangutan. Really? All I kept hearing from Kevin Hart because my kids will walk around, orangutan. Really? I'm like,
Yeah.
he's got new ones out. Go watch the new ones.
Right?
That one, yeah. Okay, well, or the NCAA Hall of Champions.
Oh, Hall of Champions, absolutely. Yeah.
That's actually pretty cool. Well, those are my 10 questions. I do them at the end, but I try to make them different. I try to look around where you live.
Yeah.
So that was fun. And I'm so glad you decided to say yes to me and come on.
Well, I appreciate the invite. Yeah.
Yeah. I know you had to do your detective work on me first. I was like,
I did.
You're like, what the hell are you going to ask me?
I was like, what do you want? Yeah.
I'm like, don't worry, I'm not mean. My videos, check them out. Oh, wait, well, hey, listen, keep being a badass mom.
Thank you. I'm gonna try.
All right, you take it easy, and I'll keep that Mosconi name on my track wrestling so I can keep an eye on you guys.
Absolutely. You take care of yourself, and thank you so very much. I appreciate you.
Yeah, no worries. I just got some stickers in. This is the logo that I just changed from. So this is the original logo, but I had already ordered them. But I have the new logo coming too. But if you guys would like a couple, just private message me your address and I'll send them out to you.
Sweet. Okay, and we will do that. We'll do that.
I know how the kids love to sticker up there.
Stick everything. Yeah. That's what we got. Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's the thing now. You know, we did that to our beeper.
Yeah, I know. They wouldn't know what you're saying. Half of them,
Yeah.
like,
What the hell's a beeper? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You take it easy. And if anytime you want to come on, feel free, please hit me up. Any of your kids that wrestle want to come on, any of your girls that wrestle want to come on, they're all welcome. So
all right. I thank you so much, Dan. Thank you.
take it easy.
Take care. Bye.